Hello my friends, it's Laura. I thought I would do a book haul because I haven't done a book haul in a while. This is definitely a cumulative from April, May, and June. So I haven't been buying a lot of books lately, you guys know, but I did pick up some new ones recently, and then I had some books that I bought in April, which you might have seen because I think I showed them in a haul, not a haul, in a vlog, but in case you haven't, I'm just gonna show them all in this video. I work at a bookstore now, and I have a really good discount, and it's very difficult not to literally buy everything when I'm there. So I'm really trying to control myself because I want to get through as many of the books on my physical TBR before the end of the year. So let's get into this haul. The first one I have here is Destroyer of Light by Jennifer Marie Brissett. I was really interested in this because it is sci-fi and it's a Persephone retelling, and everyone who I've heard talked about it has said that it has just really beautiful writing, and I'm a sucker for really stunning, beautiful writing, so I picked it up. I saw it at my local used bookstore, and I had store credit, so we'll see how this goes. I really want to read it soon. But yeah, it says The Matrix meets an Afro-futuristic retelling of Persephone set in a science fiction underworld of aliens, refugees, and genetic engineering. And like, doesn't that just sound amazing? Plus the fact that I've heard it has beautiful writing, I couldn't resist. So I picked up that one. And then another one I got from my used bookstore is Plain Bad Heroines, which is one, this is by Emily M. Danforth. It's one that I've heard interesting things about. It seems a little bit complicated of a synopsis because it takes place in different times. There's like, in 1902 at the Brookhampton School for Girls, Flo and Clara, two impressionable students, are obsessed with each other and with a daring young writer named Mary McLean, the author of a scandalous best-selling memoir. And they end up creating the society called the Plain Bad Heroine Society, but I think there ends up being like these brutal murders at the school, and then it happens again, and then they're about to make like a documentary, this is years later, on the things that happen, and then weird things start happening as they're filming. I think that's what's going on. It seems very complicated. I don't want to read the synopsis too much, but this is a horror novel that I've heard really good things about and have been wanting to pick up for a while, and when I saw it at the used bookstore, I just grabbed it. It's a chunker though. It's pretty thick, so I don't know if I'm gonna read this. Oh, I just realized there's artwork in here. There's like interesting looking pages like that and that, so this actually might be really fun to read physically. So I'm thinking of picking this up this fall because that seems like the perfect time to read it, and we'll see how it goes. Next, because one of the perks of working at a bookstore is having access to physical ARCs, and one that I picked up is this one. It's a romance. It's called After Hours on Milagro Street by Angela M. Lopez. Never heard of this author, don't even really know what it's about, but it's a romance. And I've been really into romance this year, so I thought might as well pick it up. It's free. This comes out July 12th, so it comes out really soon, so hopefully I will read it really soon. We'll see, but I am very excited to have a copy and see how that goes. I need to read more romances. Next, I picked up this beautiful Paper Mill Press edition of Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, of course. This is the front cover, the spine, the back, and I just thought it was a really pretty edition. My used bookstore actually has a lot of these Paper Mill Press classic editions, so I might pick up a few more when I go there next. But I wanted to read Little Women because I am planning to do this classic remix vlog. That was something that I had in the works for this year actually, and I haven't done any of it this year and I feel really bad. But the first one I'm gonna do is Little Women, and then I'm going to read So Many Beginnings, I think it's called, by Bethany C. Morrow, which is a Little Women remix, and just read them together and see how it goes, because I've never read Little Women. I've seen the movie, like the original movie with Winona Ryder, but I have not seen the new movie, so I'm excited to see how this goes. And then I picked up The Atrocities, also from my local used bookstore, which I have already read. This was part of my reading the highest and lowest rated book on my TBR video, which I'll link that down below if you haven't seen it yet. But I hated this. I gave it 2 stars, so I'm actually going to be unhauling this as well. So here it is in a haul, but you'll see it very soon in an unhaul. So it's a little novella. It's about a governess who gets hired to teach this little girl who died. Yeah, it's weird. It's thought it would be interesting, but it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. So, and then I have my 3 Fairy Loot adult subscription box books, which the one for April is one, was it April or was it March? No, this is March. Okay, so the March book I've showed off in a video before. This is the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I absolutely love this edition. I love the white and the gold and the stenciled edges, and like I said, I've already showed it, so I won't show it again. But the book for May was The City of Dusk by Tara Sim, which looks like this. I think it's another stunning cover. The original is more black and dark, like this middle piece here, but they did like a white, another cream and gold cover for this. It has just plain black sprayed edges. The end papers are absolutely stunning though, and the naked hardcover is just glorious. It's absolutely glorious. I love all the gold foil. That's the spine, and yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I have heard pretty good things about this one. This is Tara Sim's adult debut, I believe, and it's a fantasy. It says the 4 realms, life, death, light, and darkness, all converge on the City of Dusk, ruled by the 4 noble houses of Nexus. But the gods have withdrawn their favor from the once vibrant and thriving city, and without it, all the realms are dying. And then we've got 4 people that come together, the 4 heirs, I guess, of the city that come together to save the city, I guess. We've got a necromancer struggling to keep the peace, an elementist with her eyes set on the throne, a shadow-wielding rogue with rebellion in her heart, and a soldier who struggles to see the light. It's got gods. It sounds like my thing, so I definitely want to get to this sometime soon, hopefully before the end of the year. It sounds really good, actually. And then the book for June was Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. I've never read anything by Juno Dawson, but I've heard great things about her as a writer. So I'm excited to give this one a read. Also, this is probably the best designed Fairy Loot adult book that I've gotten so far, which really makes me happy. This, I love the cover of this. I love the yellow and the pink. I think it's so pretty. We have very interesting edges here, if you can see them. I don't know if my camera's focusing, but that's what they look like. These are the end papers, and it's signed. And then the naked hardcover is so much fun. Like, look at that. It's a goat. I don't know the significance of the goat, but I just love this, and I will probably display this on my shelf naked, because that's just, it's so cool. I love it. I love it so much. Hopefully I really enjoy the book once I get to reading it. But this says, hidden among us is a secret coven of witches known as Her Majesty's Royal Coven. They protect crown and country from magical forces and otherworldly evil. That just sounds really interesting. And it's got witches, and you know how I feel about witches. So I think I'm really gonna love it. I haven't heard anything about this at all, but I'm very excited to give it a read. Another book that I picked up at my local used bookstore is The Final Girls Support Group by Grady Hendrix. I love Grady Hendrix. If you didn't know, I read Horror Store by him, as well as Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires and the Exorcist one. What's that called? Is it just The Exorcism? I don't remember. Anyway, I love his books. They have been all 4 or 4.5 stars for me. So I'm really hoping to get a 5-star with this one. A real life final girl, Lynette Tarkington. She's meeting with 5 other girls, 5 other final girls in their like group therapy support group type thing. And I think they start getting picked off one by one. They start dying. So sounds pretty good. I love Grady Hendrix writing, and I'm really hoping that this is gonna be my first 5-star from him. We shall see. It's another one that I'm probably gonna be saving for the fall. Also picked up The Haunting of Tram Car 015 by P.J. Clark. I adore P.J. Clark. I have loved every single book that I've read by him. I think I've given every book 5 stars, or 4-star at least. So very excited for this one. I read Deadjin in Cairo, which is the short story. This takes place in the same world, although I don't think we're following the same characters, and it's about a haunted tram car. So that sounds fun. So excited to read this one, because I think that you're supposed to read this before you read the new one, his full-length novel, which I'm really excited for. So hopefully after I read this, I'll read that and it'll be a fun time. Okay, I'm back. Had to change the battery, so sorry if the angle changed. But I found this beautiful copy of Untamed Shore by Silvia Moreno Garcia, which if you don't know, this author has become one of my new favorite authors. I have been slowly making my way through her backlist, and I saw this at the used bookstore. It's in perfect condition. Like, it does not look like this was read at all. So I was so excited to find this for such a good price. I don't know what this is about. I don't need to know what a Silvia Moreno Garcia book is about before I pick it up. I just pick it up because she wrote it and I love everything she writes. But it does take place in Baja California in 1979. And you know what? I really don't want to know what it's about. Like, I don't want to read the synopsis. I just love going into her books and discovering what they are. And I know that I'm gonna have a good time. So I picked this up. Let me know if you've read it and if you enjoyed it. Don't tell me anything about it. Just let me know if you enjoyed it. But yeah, I love her writing so much. And then I picked up Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, which is a book that I have been wanting to read for such a long time, for years and years and years. I've had it on my Goodreads TBR, never picked up a copy, and now I finally have. I found it at my used bookstore and it's in such great condition. This is supposed to be like just really feel good slice of life sci-fi, which tends to be what she writes, and I'm so excited to give this a read. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it this year because I have so many series that I'm in the middle of that I don't want to start a new one, but I might read it soon because I've been wanting to read it for so long. And besides it being just like a slice of life space opera, I don't really know much else of what it's about. I'm not gonna read the synopsis, but this has been so popular and it's been out for so long. I'm sure you guys know what it's about if you've heard of it. So, and then I already talked about this in my wrap up because I have read it already, but I picked up Man Fuck This House by Brian Assman. It was a really fun book. It was a really fun title. I picked it up simply because of the title, and I had a good time with it. So if you want to hear more about that, check out my wrap up. I also picked up Hide by Kirsten White, which I just absolutely love this cover. This is all about a hide and seek competition set at an abandoned amusement park where things go horribly wrong. It's so good. I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people haven't been enjoying it, but I loved it. Talked about it in my June wrap up. Yeah, I like the cover of this a lot. And the end papers are like a map of the amusement park, which I thought was really cool. So yeah, I picked that up so I can read it, and I read it and I really enjoyed it. And then this was, oh wait a minute, I think this was the May book for the adult fairy loot. And then City of Dusk was the April? Is that what I said? I don't know. This is the May book. This is Book of Night by Harley Black. I have already read this one as well, so you can check out my wrap up if you want to hear how I felt about it. I didn't like it, by the way, but the book itself is stunning. I love this cover. It's got black sprayed edges. These end papers are absolutely stunning. I mean, look at those. There's that, and then there's different ones on the back. Look at that, love it. And the naked hardcover itself is once again absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that cover. Look at that spine. Look at the back of it. It's unfortunate that I really didn't like the book because now I don't know what to do. Like, I kind of just want to keep it because it's beautiful, but I don't know if I will. We'll see what happens. But it's about shadow magic and shadow magicians and Charlie Hall getting involved in a deadly game of shadow magic. Then I saw on Amazon that this book went 50% off, so I picked it up because I've been wanting to read it for quite some time, and you know I love my hardcovers, so I picked up the hardcover. It's called The Last House on Needless Street by Katrina Ward. I've heard very interesting things about this book. I heard that there's like a perspective from the cat. Other than that, I have no idea what's happening in here because it seems to be one of those books that people really can't explain without spoiling. So I have no idea what to expect, but I'm really excited. I've been gravitating towards the weird, unusual type books lately. So I think this might actually really do it for me. So I'm excited to give it a read. I don't know if it's like a haunted house type. I don't even want to look at the synopsis. I just want to go into this and see what happens. Hopefully I will read this soon, or I will save it for the fall season. we shall see. Then I had a pre-order come in for Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. I have already read this. I actually read an advanced audio copy of it and I loved it. I really did. I gave it 4.5 stars. This is a dark witchy story reminiscent of The Craft. It takes place in 2 timelines where we're following Ivy, who's 17, as strange occurrences start to happen to her, and then we also go back in time and follow her mother Dana when she was 16 and seeing her get involved in some dark magic and picking up some things that she should have left alone, and now all of that kind of comes back to haunt her years later, her and her daughter. And I really loved it. I love the atmosphere in here. I thought the atmosphere was so good. I loved the characters. I love Melissa Albert's writing so much. So I highly recommend this one. I definitely want to give this a reread soon. I love this cover so much. And the naked hardcover has this little pink rabbit on it. Oh my goodness. Also, don't read this if you love rabbits because some horrific things happen to rabbits in here, that's all I'm saying. Next, I picked up Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. I've been wanting to read something from T. Kingfisher for quite some time, and I'm interested in so many of their books, but I've heard so many great things about this. A lot of my friends really seem to love it. Described as a really dark fairy tale that's also funny, a little ridiculous, and it just sounds like everything I want. It's nice and short. I think the cover is absolutely stunning. Look at that cover. Yes. Oh, the end papers are so pretty. Is that a skeleton dog? I don't know, but does that make me even more excited to read it? Yeah, it kind of does. Okay, the end papers are the same on the other side. And then the naked hardcover looks like this. So pretty. I have been obsessed with this dark green lately. I just love it. Okay, and then, of course, I picked up a copy of Seasonal Fears by Shauna Maguire. I haven't read it yet. I don't know why, but this is the companion sequel to Middle Game by Shauna Maguire, which I absolutely adored, one of my favorite books of all time. This does not follow the same characters. Like, we're not following Roger and Dodger. We're following someone else. Melanie and Harry, possibly? But I haven't heard the best of things about this one, and that makes me nervous. But I'm also really excited to read it for myself because I love Shauna Maguire, and she very rarely has, if ever, has let me down. So I'm just really excited to give it a read, and hopefully I can get to it later on this month, because I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. Like, I'm dying to get to that one. And then finally, we have Four Aunties and a Wedding by Jessie Q. Sutanto, which is the sequel to Dial A for Aunties, which is just one of the most hilarious, over-the-top, ridiculous, funny things I've ever read, and I had such a good time with it that I want to read everything by Jessie Q. Sutanto, but definitely I want to continue on reading in the Aunties series because I love these Aunties so much. The Aunties really make this series for me. They are absolutely hilarious. I love Meddy as well, and in this one, Meddy is getting married and the Aunties are up to shenanigans. So I cannot wait to read this. I'm hoping that it's going to be just as ridiculous and over the top and funny as the first one. And there you go. Those are all of the books that I have bought recently. Talk to me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let me know which one of these you think that I should get to ASAP. Let me know if you've read any of them, if you enjoyed them. You know I love hearing from you in the comments. But that is going to be it from me today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. The hard part. We've got to collect all of the books together and do the thumbnail. You know, I didn't think I had a lot of books here, but once you stack them all up together, it's quite a lot. Quite a lot. Oh no, I can't pick these up. I can't pick them up. Oh, they're too... Oh no. Oh no. Shit. Shit. Okay. Okay. No, wait. Wait this way. I'm blocking the light. Hi. Thumbnails are so weird. Like, you're just sitting here posing in front of the camera for minutes, and it's weird, you know? It's weird.